This one here has its own purpose. This is being held and used. You see, there are various purposes here. The meaning of this, anywhere you see this, is used in praying for Ajay. This is used in praying for unity. This is in praying for progress. And this is used in praying for defense.
Can we just hold it up so
you
the camera can see?
And you will only find high priest and high priestesses holding this.
Okay.
Every object you see there are not things of common. They are not held or being displayed or handled by non-initiatees, by non-believers. And they are never found in public. You only find them in shrines and temples, where they are honorably placed. As I was telling you, every one of them has their own spacious and respected places.
Sure.
And they are seldom seen. They are not always seen in public. Even they are not always handled the way people are handling them today. Because if you are not initiated, or if you are not purified, if you are not instructed, even to come and kneel and pray before all these objects, you have to go through so many rituals and processes.
I can really hear the importance and spiritual significance of all of these objects. And I wonder whether it makes you feel uncomfortable or sad, having just said that I'm handling it. I've not been initiated into into this spirituality here in the museum.
Well, I was telling you yesterday that even the collectors, because I know the real collectors, may their soul rest in peace. They serve their purposes for the people who collect them, because a lot of our colonial masters, their lives were saved through their being friendly with our priests and priestesses back home in Africa, who even have them, give them the access or power to come nearer these purposes, this object. They served their purpose for the people who collected them until they are returned back home now to Africa. Then their powers can be revived and restored to them. I'm happy seeing them here, but not in their respected places. And your project now, try to bring them back to their original purposes and giving them their respected values, yes, but their efficacy is no more there. Because when they were in their original forms, you as a priest or priestesses have the man to command them to do something. Your prayers will be directed towards them, and you will see the result of the prayers. Even if you cause somebody with it, the efficacy is still there, but the efficacies are no more there now, because the efficacies have been useful and beneficial to the collectors. Before they kept them for you and I to come and see today. Because a lot of us here today doesn't know their purpose, even what to say to this, what to do to this, how we can handle it before it becomes powerful. But the powers are still there if it is revived and given back to them.
So it's out of context. So if it was in its original context.
If it is there in the original context, yeah, they have their own purposes and their own usefulness is there. Because the priests and priestesses who handle them, we know the way to command them. What to do with this, the purpose of having this, you'll be told, the purpose of having this, who knows how many sacrifices all this have gone through in the days of old. As I told you, they are not just things of show. You can't find them with children being played about or in the market being sold. Their purpose of coming out is maybe they bring this out once in a year for prayers to the public, or for somebody who is sick, or they are not openly seen or openly touched or openly displayed as we do them today in the museum or in the galleries or whatever. No. Even back home in Africa, you can't find them in public places like this. So yes, we thank you for preserving them, but they've served their purposes. Unless if it is given back to you now, or given back to him, yes, if we take it back, or to know what to say, seeking the consent of the oracle. This thing that is given to me, what am I to do to revive the power back to him or her? It is through Orunmila. Orunmila will tell you, okay, maybe, take for instance, you have to fast for 2-3 days before you touch them, or you have to bath with special root and herbs before you touch them, or you have to take them to so place before they can come back. Their power have been hanging somewhere at the crossroad. Take them to the crossroad, kneel down by it, throw your kola nut, slaughter a chicken, or throw whatever you have to do to bring back the spiritual power to all these things.
Okay. So good. As a crude example, can you imagine this? Yeah? If you take this out of he doesn't have the battery, it's not going to work. Yeah? If I put a battery in and charge it up, it's going to work. But if it's out of range of a network, it doesn't work either. So it's all about context.
Yeah.
And this work might be a wonderful artifact in 1,000 years' time, and people might be saying, what was it used for? Was it used for cutting bread? Was it used for stirring something? What is it? Is it a mobile phone? It makes sense to us now. In context, these make sense. And when they're in the right network, it makes sense also.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, we touched on it earlier about the issue of these artifacts going back and being repatriated, and I just wondered what the rest of you thought about that, particularly as there are a lot of diaspora communities from Africa that are now settled here in Manchester, and in some ways it could be argued that the merits of having these here in the museum means that it's a way of them connecting with their heritage.
I think it would be good. To me, it's all about terms, the terms on which they're here. If they were taken by, in some cases, they were actually stolen or appropriated by, collectors. In what circumstances? What were they given the respect? Was the status maintained? If they were over here on a conditional loan, and it came over with a purpose as well. This is something we have them in this time, not just locked away in a boat gathering dust. They've got a function and a purpose. That would be a really good thing to have, and to have that kind of dialogue with the local communities. For instance, there are many people now from Nigeria who are either Muslim or Christian who don't fully understand the context these are in, and it would be good to see that kind of that understanding taught and actually shown to build respect, self-esteem. This is a global village now. It's a global economy. The thing called cultural capital, and we all need to have self-awareness, self-pride in the present climate. So it would add to the museum taking an initiative like that. It would add to that cultural capital for children and adults around the world.